Welcome back to Humblewood. Last time, we went to a wizard school and did some research, but some of that research is missing. So we're continuing on with that. Talus, you're going deeper into the library looking for information on the Borealis.
That would be it.
Okay, you're skimming through the aisles, and there doesn't seem to be much about it going on aside from the burnt up book that you found earlier.
Right.
But there is a lot of stuff on the conjuration magic, such as stuff about the something as big as that element as the aspect of fire would require a lot of energy to seal. And just
Anything
as
about where such energy might come from?
hmm, it it would definitely take it would likely be done. It just take a lot of force, a lot of tremendous effort coming from the caster to try and seal something like that, or even just to summon it.
Hmm.
Hmm. And it also a seal for something that powerful wouldn't break that easily without some outside force.
So sealed away, who knows how long ago, and then set loose. Interesting.
Specifically, it seems by an outside force.
Yes.
Hmm.
But
And
of course, Rallis doesn't know this because he's still off looking for Rook.
Yeah. I'm all by myself in this suspiciously combat-like library.
yeah, there's nothing going on. It's pretty quiet in here.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Talus doesn't know anything's about to go down.
Nope.
But the player,
Hey.
but the player is, please don't jump me, please don't jump me, please don't jump me.
Yeah. But I'm a wizard off on my own.
Yeah, I mean, everybody can come in at this moment and it'll be fine. Yeah, you continue reading.
That would be metagaming, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do that
Anyways,
here.
a couple minutes pass, you continue reading. In order to steal something this massive, it would take a very large conjuration circle.
Huh.
It may have it may have become obscured over time, but it's impossible for the aspect to have been kept dormant all this time without it.
If we can find out, well then. Okay, so note to self: expedition into the Scorched Grove later to see if we can find out where. If we can take a look at that circle.
A bit more reading, and from the previous piece of information that you researched, you come across a cryptic tome. It's a treatise by a conjurer who attempted to calculate the location of the conjuration circle in the grove. It's based on a lot of painstaking research on energy readings, topography, ley lines, etc., etc. But the complex formulas of all his calculations are there, but most of the pages that actually specify the location have been ripped out.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Hey,
I mean,
shit.
with with a lot more time with the calculations, you could work through it to find the location on your own, but it would be very challenging.
Well then, in that case, I will simply take this book and bring it to the Dean of Conjuration. He should have an easier time.
You mean the professor of conjuration? Well,
Yeah.
if you're proficient with Arcana, you could take a full day of research to try and piece it all together.
I am proficient with Arcana, so I guess I'll hold on to this for now. Then,
Yeah.
like conjuration was always Talos' weakest.
So,
as I may have mentioned last session.
so while you're reading, several minutes pass. You notice one of the lights has gone out. This one over here has gone out.
Which one? I don't see it on nothing.
Let me draw it here. This light here has gone out.
So that's a candle?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a magic candle. It doesn't just get burnt out by it on its own. Something there was something there.
Odd. I'm gonna go grab another magic candle and grab that and try and relight it and try and relight it.
You relight it.
And then I go back to my work.
Okay. The light goes out again. The moment you turn your back, the light goes out again.
I relight it again.
This continues for some time.
Okay, there's a skeleton, and could you go a skeleton? Could you go fetch the janitor or something? I think one of the lights may be defective.
The skeleton takes your order and proceeds to go about doing. It leaves the library.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Rook is wandering into the library as well.
There I sent away my only line of defense.
Yeah, and I guess Rook kind of wanders into the library himself, kind of passing by the skeleton, kind of looking at it, was like, okay, this is kind of weird. I guess that's what those people were talking about by donating their bodies.
Okay, Rook, as you enter the library, you notice this light goes out as well.
Make that 2 lights!
Yeah, and I hear Talus, I'm like, yeah.
There's something weird going on. It's starting to get pretty dark in here, but because you have night vision, everything is grayscale.
Well, dark vision, but...
Right, so okay, now Talus is getting a bit suspicious, so he's going to casually wait by one of these lights.
Okay.
Okay. So, Rook is going to pull off some things with his familiar. I'm going to have my familiar use... one second. A familiar can use any one of the spells.
I believe so.
Okay, I'm going to have him use Control... Yeah, I guess it's Control Flame. Kind of over here.
Okay.
And kind of give him like a little candle on the end of its tail.
Okay, you now have a candle.
Yeah. It's non-damaging, I guess. But I'm just going to have him keep using the cantrip to kind of light the way, so I don't have to hold the cantrip.
Talus over in... Hold on. Let me fix that. The light over here goes out.
The moment that happens, I cast See Invisibility on.
Okay, did you have that prepared?
Yes, actually, I did.
Okay. So, you actually don't see anything. All you see is your own shadow on the being illuminated by the light behind you.
Okay. I'm going to ritual cast Detect Magic. See if there's anything in this library that seems out of place.
You're ritual casting it? Okay.
Oh dear.
Talus, you feel something cold touch your shoulder as you're trying to ritual cast.
Okay, I stop ritual casting and just and then just like jump like 5 feet this way.
Okay. You turn around right before the thing decides to drain your strength, and you see your own shadow taking form. Rook, meanwhile, you also feel that exact same feeling behind your back.
Okay.
You take 6 necrotic damage.
Me?
Yes.
Dang. Okay.
And you also lose 3 strength.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I didn't know that strength to begin with.
As you also look behind you to see your own shadow is attacking you.
Fuck's sake.
Everyone roll for initiative.
Yeah. Does that mean us too?
If Rook and Talus call for help, yes.
Okay, Rook yells, like, ah, fuck!
Yeah, Henrietta hears this and heads in there. What in the... And she sees the shadow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shadows. Shadows are attacking you.
Yeah, I rolled a nat 20 on my initiative.
Okay.
That's that rogue dexterity coming into play.
No, that's just his base initiative.
Okay, Henrietta, did you roll initiative already, or?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay. Rook, you just lost strength from this freakish form of yourself. What do you do?
Well, I guess I can command my familiar to do something, right?
You can.
Okay. I'm just gonna have my familiar kind of, with its flaming tail, kind of like get close and try to dispel the shadow.
The flame doesn't really do much to it at all.
No, it doesn't dispel the shadow.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, I guess Rook, and all of his combat expertise and having absolutely no magical items whatsoever, proceeds to freak out, pull out his dagger, and try to stab the thing in the face.
Okay. Roll to attack.
Tries to shank his own shadow.
Yeah, you hit it. But it doesn't really do much. It just kind of phases through it.
Okay, I'm going to disengage as my bonus action.
Okay, you do that.
So, and kind of use my movement speed to... I have actually doubled the movement speed because of my boots of speed.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm fucking running. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 30 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Over here.
Okay. Rallis, it's your turn.
Alright, well, as Rallis comes in, he notices what's going on, and he yells out to Henrietta, "Take care of that shadow, I'll see if I can find Talus."
Henrietta nods.
And I will take the... this is probably very ill-advised, but I will take the dash action.
Okay.
20, 40, 50, 60. And I will dash up here, and that'll be my turn.
Alrighty. Tell us it's your turn.
Right. A moment. And the connection. My connection is being spotty.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I guess we can just,
I know what I'm gonna do. I just need to, basically.
always just explain what you're doing, and I'll roll for you.
Okay, Okay, yeah. Stupid.
You can always just explain what you're doing,
Yeah.
and I'll roll for you.
But at one moment, because there's just one thing that I need to decide. Specifically, which way I book. Okay, I'm back online, more or less.
Okay.
God, I hope this lands. Okay. I'm going to cast Shocking Grasp on my shadow.
Okay.
Ooh, crit.
That's a natural 20.
Okay, and now it can't take. And now, because that hit, it cannot take any kind of reaction.
Okay.
I'm going to bolt. Directly away from the shadow.
Okay. The Stalking Grasp doesn't seem to do much, but it does stun it.
Yeah, like it prevents him from taking reactions, and that's the important thing.
A good little spell for a wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Henrietta, it's your turn.
I'm gonna go over here, bearing my mace and shield. And this old guy is helping, or do I have to be in the same square as him?
He's currently not helping at the moment.
No, I guess he was trying to illuminate the shadow, and that's not working.
No, it's not working.
Alright, then I'm gonna have at him with, no, not the mace, the one-handed longsword. And I'm also gonna add Divine Smite.
Okay.
You don't have to commit that unless you hit.
Okay. Well, it hits.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Yeah, and I add the Divine Smite, which is a 1d8.
2d8.
I only have...
Yeah, 2d8 at first level spell slots, plus 1d8 for each one higher.
Oh, I thought it was 1. Oh, okay, then.
2d8 if you're using a first level spell.
Okay. 2d8. 12. So that is 18.
Well, it's actually
I think
from the initial hit, since your longsword isn't magical, it doesn't do much. But the radiant damage from your smite completely disintegrates it.
Yeah? Heaven yeah. Instead of
Okay.
hell yeah, but since I'm a paladin, I'm gonna say heaven yeah instead of hell yeah.
Okay.
That just makes it sound like I'm trying too hard.
Alright, you still have a little bit of movement left.
Alright, I'm gonna... Give me a sec. I'm gonna...
Yeah, we have like 20 feet of movement left.
Yeah, I'm gonna move down here and hold up my shield and end my turn.
Okay. It's the shadow's turn. Henrietta, you see this shadow, and all of a sudden, it disappears.
What the heck?
It morphs into the shadow. You can't see it anymore.
Is it still here?
It's around, but you no longer see it.
Ooh, I have something to I think I have something for that.
Yeah, divine scent. Yeah, you do see it go around this corner.
Which corner?
This corner.
Oh no.
It's still going after Talus.
Henrietta calls out, "Whoever's on the other side of that bookcase, brace yourself, something's coming."
Rook, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm still kind of like running. But it's like 1, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So half my movement speed. I still have. And I'm going to use Control Flames again as my second instance of it. I can use, mind you, I can use up to 3 in different instances. And I would like to use this flame
Okay.
to, I guess, let's see, I can move it. It's in the cube. So I need to read this real careful.
Captain.
No, wait. I would like to use. This flame. And since Henrietta kind of like warned us that like the creature is around here somewhere.
Somewhere, but you don't see it.
I would like to kind of change its shape into like really bright sparks.
Hmm.
Now, as a welder, I could say like sparking doesn't actually hurt anything. It's just really freaky to see.
Yeah.
Especially coming at you.
Yeah, I've had experience with that myself. I dropped a grinding saw when I saw sparks starting to fly.
Yeah, but it's pretty much I am expanding it. Well, let's see. I'm expanding the feet 5 feet in any one direction, so this right here.
Okay. You cast your sparks around in this area, and doesn't seem to do much. It's not exactly in that particular spot. Sorry.
Okay.
Dallas, it's your turn.
Wait, 1 sec. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's my turn. Okay. Best I can do is 30, 40, 50, 60 on the other side of that bookshelf. So this is probably ill-advised, but I'm taking the dash action again, and I'm putting myself in the line of fire.
Okay.
Near the line of fire.
Alright, and that'll be my turn.
Definitely, as you round the corner, you definitely sense something over here.
Alright, and actually, where would how you feeling right now? Or has it hit you or anything, or?
No, it has not.
Alright, but
its
Rook...
initial surprise attack missed.
Alright, but Rook has been hit, correct?
Yes.
Alright, and what's the range on this? Perfect. Just need to do some quick measurements, and he's within range. Now, as my bonus action, I will be casting Healing Word at Rook, just to get him a bit back up to speed. Healing.
It doesn't heal his... It doesn't exactly heal his strength, his lost strength, but it does still work on him.
You gotta take what you can get. This will be at first level.
So I heal how much?
6.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay. I forgot to mention this, Tala, but since you had see invisibility up, you did see the outline of someone leaving the library. It wasn't a shadow or anything.
No. Well, no. I mean, no outline. I would have just plain saw whoever it was.
You just saw. You saw what looked like a bird boat, but they were going pretty fast, and they were hastily leaving the library.
Did I get any? Did I get any indication of like color, clothing?
No. It's pretty dim in here, so it's all grayscale.
Yeah, because of your dark vision, you'd only see things in shades of grey. You wouldn't be able to discern color.
Right. Well. Oh well. Okay. So don't want to blow all my spell slots just yet in case there's more of them. So I'm going. And so I'm going to do something a bit more. I'm thinking a little bit more clever now. I'm going to do something a little bit more innate. I'm going to use ambush prey.
Ooh. So make yourself invisible.
Yeah, as long as I do not move.
That might be a problem.
Well, thanks for saying that, Becca.
Well, actually, wait. But that I'm going to take one step this way, and then I'm going to cast it to make it look like I was just going that way. Yeah, I flattened. So, yeah, and then as I cast it, I flattened myself against the bookcase.
Okay, you are now invisible.
Yeah. So, so I'm now invisible as long as I don't move, and as if I attack anyone, and it does an extra d6 damage.
Okay. Henrietta, it's your turn.
Do I still see the thing?
You do not. Not from where you're standing.
Alright. All I can do is, I can dash here.
You're pretty sure it rounded around this corner, so if you went south, you might see it with your divine sense.
30 feet, dash here, and then dash there, so down here, and down here. Okay.
Yeah, you definitely sense something fishy right over here.
I point in that direction. Talus, over there!
Alright.
I'm not here. You can't see me. I'm invisible.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, Talus is invisible.
Well, you would have seen
yeah.
you would have seen Rallis heading the same way, so you can probably just call out to him.
It's the Shadow's turn. Talus, you sense something going past you.
Do I get? So do I? Do I get? Actually, wait. No. Any attack of opportunity on me would be useless.
Yeah, from a wizard?
No,
It's just a really creepy feeling.
Yeah, honestly, there's ones. Because it's more. I could do. There's plenty of stuff I could do, but I don't have Warcaster.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Rook, it's your turn.
Okay, so I was just reading Xanathars. I was kind of I guess I was misinterpreting control flame and shape water. I can't really actually make a little candle, but whatever. So I can only move the flame within a 5-foot square. So I guess I'm gonna. What's that? There is a ruler. I'm gonna move over. Yeah. 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna move over here and double the brightness of this one.
Okay. You certainly do, but you still don't see the shadow.
Versus also my little familiar's trying to come towards me.
Okay. And that'll be your turn?
Yeah, that's my trick. I can't really use help action.
Rallis, you saw the You saw something sift over down this corridor.
Oh boy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I will move here and,
Make a perception check.
I think I might have something for that. Patterned feathers, imposing brawlers, supernatural. I've, alrighty. Well, here we go. Perception, here we go. Perception. Oh, goodness.
No. It's pretty dimly lit in here, even with your dark vision. This thing is pretty elusive.
Didn't I double the brightness of one of the things here?
Yes, but it's not there.
It's right in the darkness. Yeah.
Alice, you are invisible.
I have a sense of where it is, right?
Kinda. You might have to make another perception check.
Yeah. Kinda is all I need. I cast Magic Missile on it.
Okay. Over in this direction, I suppose. Sorry. Let me...
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so... Magic Missile 1. Yeah, one moment. Oh, the ambush spray worked. Okay, so that's 5.
Yep.
Magic Missile 2. Magic Missile 3.
Yeah, you do manage to hit this, You do definitely manage to hit the shadow.
Yeah.
For 5, 10, but...
My invisibility drops with that.
Yeah, you are no longer invisible.
And I hide behind Rallis.
When that happens, though, once that last magic missile hits, it disintegrates. The shadows are no more.
Yeah, Rook is still kind of wary even of his own shadow now.
What?
Actually, you look down, you no longer have a shadow.
I no longer have a shadow.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh,
And
no.
you feel incredibly weak.
Henrietta looks up and down the library by Isle. Does she see anything with her divine sense?
No. It's all gone.
It's all clear.
Alright, well,
Rook is still testing physics.
but yeah, Rallis is just kind of standing there, a warhammer in one hand, shield in the other, as he slowly backs up towards Talus, and he looks over to him and says, "What in the name of Altus? What was going on?"
I don't know, guys, but I don't seem to have a shadow anymore.
Yeah, Talus doesn't have a shadow either.
It didn't even hurt. What the hell?
Yeah, you go into the light, you no longer have a shadow.
It's like, guys, physics is broken.
Okay. What in the hay was that?
Those were shadows.
I get that.
No, that's literally what they're called. They're monsters made out of darkness that drain the life out of you.
Yep.
Then why would they steal your shadows?
I don't know.
Another character that's reminding me of Peter Pan.
A little. But yeah, Rallis thinks for a minute and he says, "Talus, may I ask a quick question of you?"
Yeah.
Are you aware of what sort of creatures are shadows?
Make an Arcana check.
Yeah, Arcana check, you said?
Yes.
I am supposedly good at this.
Okay, you do know that shadow monsters are at least undead creatures.
They're undead.
So, Rallis
I did
hit...
see
Go ahead.
No, I did see bird folk leaving earlier.
Rallis's expression seems to deepen in thought a little, and he starts tapping his finger against his arm. So, do you believe perhaps our Corvin friend may be responsible?
You do see the librarian coming up, saying, "Oh goodness, what happened down here? I heard a commotion."
you've got a bit of a shadow infestation.
Oh dear. Are you all unharmed?
Henrietta points to the absence of a shadow beneath Talus's feet.
Oh, oh.
I don't suppose you have a cure for that, do ya?
I'll go get the paramedics immediately. He rushes off.
Rook, don't wander off. There might be more of them.
Yeah, I 1 second. I see the guy, I guess, coming my direction. I saw him. Just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Now what are you doing?
I'm going to get the paramedic.
I don't think a paramedic can deal with like a lost shadow.
No,
I'm like-
we have clerics who are able to remove curses.
I'd like to roll insight.
Okay.
I'd like to roll insight, even though I know a cleric myself. He says.
He is genuinely concerned.
He's not trying to like run away from the scene of the crime.
No, he's not.
Of attempted murder.
No, he's actually going to get the paramedics.
I'm gonna follow him anyways.
Okay. You are pretty weak, though. You do follow him over to the infirmary.
Okay.
Hey, first come, first. First come, first serve.
I was gonna say he walks 5 feet and then falls flat on his face.
Nah.
Oh come on! I only have like -2 strength score.
-3, actually.
I went from 9 to 6.
That's pretty bad, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Hikari's got that, and he deals with it pretty well.
Yeah, but she also
Yeah,
has the
okay.
gauntlets of ogre strength to balance them out.
Oh yeah.
It's already gotten pretty late in the day, and you all go to the infirmary to get yourselves checked out.
But yeah, in between like walks to the infirmary and all that, Rallis does lean in towards Talus, and he says, "So, what's your take on it? Was it perhaps our little Corvin friend?"
I don't know, but okay. Out of character, like the figure I saw running away, did it look at all like a Corvin?
What?
It was black in color. It was like pitch black.
Well, the bird folk I saw leaving earlier was black. He wouldn't have seen it if he was invisible.
It was pretty dimly lit, though, and he was moving pretty quickly. As far as you could tell, it looked black.
I found another one.
Actually, as you're about to leave the library, you find a piece of paper on the ground that wasn't there before.
Oh, this should be good. I read it.
It appears to be some form of ritual page from a book it was torn out of. Make an Arcana check.
Sure thing. There, finally a decent roll.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is dark magic. This is necromancy for.
What exactly
This is
ritual?
Becca?
You there,
on this
Becca?
page has been spent.
Becca, 1 second. You cut out.
Yeah.
Could
We
you?
have no idea what you said.
Yeah, could you repeat
Yeah,
that, please?
From the top, you cut out.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, internet is being wonky.
But what exactly does the purpose of the ritual seem to be?
Oh no. Discord. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. This is definitely dark magic. This is necromancy for sure.
Well, yeah, but what specifically does it do?
It has to do something with the shadows that you fought earlier.
I thought as much.
It's ritual casting, but all the magic has been spent on this page. Like it was just recently used.
That's some... Conjuring shadows. Most necromancers can't do that. It takes some very specialized magic work.
Necromancy.
Yeah.
Necromancy.
Yep, Relic stretches.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you all should get that to the paramedics or wherever Rook went to follow the librarian.
Yeah, they should be at the infirmary now.
Okay. Well, I was inclined to... now, well, I was inclined to think this, Oswald guy... what was his name?
Oddwald.
Oddwald.
Yeah,
It's like Oswald, but there's a D instead of an F.
Just think odd, and then there you go.
Yeah, I was inclined to think Oddwald Evanhart might not have been the bad guy after all, but I'm pretty sure he just tried to kill us.
I do agree, though. I can't help but feel like there's more to this than just simply good guy, bad guy, as it were.
I found more on the aspect of flame, and down there it was deliberately sealed away. Where the conjuration circle is, we may be able to find, but some outside influence would have had to who set it free. Like it could not have escaped on its own.
You think someone deliberately set free?
Yes, that's what I just said.
But why? What would they gain out of releasing that thing?
Well, if we find the conjuration circle, maybe we can find some clues.
Okay,
and I hold up the damage book, and I may be able to find it.
So you're planning. So you're planning on reading that?
Well, I already read it. I'm planning on redoing all the calculations.
Well.
In the meantime.
Well, when you do start to.
Yeah, but. Oh, okay. In the meantime, I need one of you. I hold up the badly burned book. I need one of you to take this to the divination teacher, and ask him to cast the legend lore spell on Borealis.
All right. Well, I believe I'll go and take care of that myself.
Yeah.
Relic.
Yeah, and Talus in the meantime, and like he's already gonna try and work out what is in the book.
Hold on.
How about we get...
Before I hit, before Rallis heads off, he pulls Talus aside and he says, "Oh yes, Talus, by the way."
Yeah.
And he touches your shoulder, and he infuses you with Fox's cunning.
Ooh. Have you guys advantage on intelligence check?
That's exactly what I needed. Thank you.
But yeah, as he does that, he says,
for the next hour.
Shouldn't we get him to the infirmary for the shadow problem?
Shadow grow back. I want to get started on this.
Since when do shadows grow back?
Since always.
Well, meanwhile, Rook, you're at the infirmary, and the medics do tell you that it is a curse, but it will wear off after a long rest. After a shorter long rest, and you should be back to the normal strength.
Yeah.
Okay, do they suppose any sort of other diagnosis? What may have caused this curse?
Definitely something necromantic. Definitely not something you'd normally find in any book. From any normal wizard.
Okay. There is someone I guess I would have to go back to and talk, like the necromancy instructor. But first, I'm just going to go to the cafeteria and take a short rest. Nice cup of coffee.
Right, okay.
But yeah, while that's happening...
It's already gotten pretty late, though. It's nighttime.
But yeah, while that's...
Okay, I guess I'm going to take a long rest and just nap.
Yeah,
Actually,
maybe we all just go to bed now and go about our business in the morning.
Actually, that would probably be a smart idea, yeah. Especially considering that the culprits likely just fled the campus entirely.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you all go back to sleep. It's raining outside. The next morning, you hear a knock at the door. It's Professor Reese Birchwalker, the conjuration instructor. And she tells you that the dean would like to see you in his office immediately.
Okay. Since we took our long rest, do I get my strength back?
Yes.
Back to 9.
And also, all of your shadows are back to normal.
Alright.
Listen.
I'm not so useless anymore. Yay.
And see, Henrietta, what did I tell you?
It did, in fact, grow back.
But yeah, Relius looks to everyone and says, well, I know we are all very busy today, but if the dean needs to see us, then we should not keep him waiting.
So you all go to the dean's office.
That is correct.
Okay. You all go inside, and he asks you to close the door. He's very nervous.
Relius does so.
Insight.
Okay, you can roll insight.
I'm sorry, when you said that made me very suspicious.
No, he looks very nervous.
About what?
It's about your well-being, about what happened the other night. And he has a serious stare about him, and he looks anxious as he speaks to you. I heard about what happened the other night.
Yes, whoever did this was a very specialized necromancer.
Mm.
Who can't summon shadows, I understand. I hold up the ritual page.
Ah, I see. Well, you aren't the first to have an incident in the past few weeks. I don't mean to alarm you, but several strange things have been reported across campus. And,
Of course they have.
well, this college was made by powerful wizards, and we haven't really figured out everything those old codgers left behind here. Magical defenses and the like. We've had a few accidents in the past. I hope that isn't the case, but if it is, well, folks are the defenders of Eldehart, right? I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have looking into this.
Talus just has one eyebrow raised all throughout this.
Sir, you have many questions.
When did... Well, I suppose the first question is, when did these incidents start taking place?
Several weeks ago. There were at least 3 cases that you could go looking into. They may be the result of some undiscovered magical defense built into the avium that was accidentally triggered, but normally I would entrust these investigations to the Poach Guard, but I've had little to go on at this point, but I'd rather not involve them if it turns into something minor.
Question for the DM.
Yeah.
Is Relius aware of when the Scorched Grove happened exactly?
It was many, many, many years ago.
Okay.
It was long before the treaty ever happened. It was long before you were even born.
Right. I guess the question I wanted to ask was, does the time frame of weird stuff happening lately line up with when these incidents in the avium started happening?
Kind of.
It's more coincidence than anything.
Yeah, it's more coincidence than anything.
Well,
he continued. You mentioned the necromancy instructor. I would insist on you gathering more sufficient proof first before you before you to interrogate one of the other staff members. I would need to have some hard evidence before even considering one of them being to blame.
Well,
I think it was them.
we it is a little painful to say, but we do have reason to suspect that, well, our little friend Oddwald may perhaps have something to do with what is going on.
That might just be the case, but to find him might be troublesome.
As
in the meantime,
Well, he was fleeing the library. Well, he was fleeing the scene of the attack. Yes.
we assume it was him anyway. We have not confirmed it for ourselves.
if that's the case, there are 3 leads that I could give you to further investigate this whole situation. Oh heavens! The first is a student, a skittish Dravine named Figgery Figgins. He filed a report about experiencing something unusual and frightening on campus. Most people think he's exaggerating to gain a medical exemption from classes, but I believe something scared him.
Rallis raises an eyebrow at that, and then he looks at Tallis. Students do that?
Remind me, what did she say? I had to step up for a moment.
The dean said that the guy who's telling about strange stuff happening to him, people think that he's playing it up to get a medical exemption from classes.
They do, but if he was going to do that, there's much more convincing lies.
And I do believe something did scare him that night. You can find him in the first-year dormitories in the central building, near the ground floor. The second lead would be the divination instructor, Professor Korvax Ravane. He's made some cryptic predictions regarding a terrible event that's either going to or already happened. He's a brilliant scholar.
Anyway, so...
He's a brilliant scholar, but also a bit of an oddball.
Well...
It'd be a great help if you could check in on to see what he's predicted. You can find him in the divination lab, in the central building.
Yeah.
Actually, quick question.
Yeah.
Legend lore is classified as a divination spell, right?
Yes, it is.
So, with that in mind, Rallis says, the divination professor, correct?
Yes.
Well, I need to speak with him regarding the book that Tallis has given me, so perhaps I will follow up that lead personally.
Okay. And the third lead that I have is another student, a Sarah Luba named Gel Platina, has lodged a complaint about the servitor skeletons on campus acting oddly. It's minor, but it might be worth looking into. You can find her in one of the libraries in the Inner Spire.
Considering our recent quarrel, it does not seem to be unreasonable to chase that lead up as well.
Okay. That's about all the leads that I can offer you.
Alright then.
Good luck. I hope you find the one responsible for all of this.
Really, we will.
Well, with that in mind, Rallis pulls out the book and holds it under the book Tallis gave him and holds it under his arm. I'll go and speak with the divination professor.
And Tallis takes out the book with all the formulas in it, and I'll go work out this. Could you enhance my ability again? I did next. That's nice.
Absolutely. It's no trouble. He
Meanwhile, I'll go handle the truant students.
yeah, Rallis touches Talus on the head, and then you feel infinitely smarter.
And I guess I'm gonna go with Henrietta to help intimidate these truants.
Jeez, okay.
Go back to class, kid.
I'm gonna persuade them, not intimidate.
Good cop, bad cop.
Well, you do you.
Good cop, bad cop.
Rook puts on sunglasses.
I'm gonna put on my my mask of the fiend.
Okay. So,
And then, all right.
can all of you just roll a d20 to see who goes first?
No worries.
Okay.
All right, D20.
Okay, Rallis, you get to go first. What are you doing?
All right. Well, as I said, Rallis is going to find the divination professor and ask about the book and chase up the lead that was given to him by the dean.
Okay, just let me set this up real quick. And send you over to the divination lab. You see that class is about to end already, and the students are already packing up, ready to leave.
As they're leaving, Rallis just steps to the side and allows the students to leave first before he walks in.
Yep. They all leave the classroom, leaving to the let me see here. The rather disturbed looking diviner, who is a Corvin.
Alright. Rallis walks in and he says, "Excuse me, sir, are you Professor... I'm sorry, I've forgotten the name. It was Professor...
Korvax Ravane.
But yeah, Talus walks in and says, "Excuse me, sir, you're Professor Korvax Ravane, correct?"
Oh, yes, that is me. Hello.
He walks up to the desk and, bows politely. "I'm Rallis Greenborough. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir."
It's a pleasure to meet you as well, sir. There's something you need.
Yes, since you are the divination... Yeah. Sorry?
I was just about to perform another ritual here, and he has a set of small animal bones.
Well, I hope I won't take up too much of your time. As the divination professor, I would like to chase up a few things with you, if that isn't too much trouble.
Oh, of course. What is it that you would like to know?
Well, first order of business, he pulls out the book and he says, "Do you happen to know the spell Legend Lore?"
I do indeed. Quite a powerful spell at that.
Well, I understand that it's perhaps a very costly resource, but I would like to know a bit about... sorry, again, just a reminder, Wedwood, Talus told him to question about the Boreas, or...
Borealis.
The Borealis. He hands the book to the divination professor and he says, "I would like to know what you can tell me about the Borealis, if you could, please."
I see. Let me just get a few things ready here. And he goes through his desk. He pulls out a very expensive looking incense, along with 4 ivory strips, and begins to cast the spell. It takes him about 10 minutes for him to cast.
Rouse just stands there patiently. As it goes on in minutes, like towards the back end of the 10 minutes, he starts shifting around a bit. Like, clearly he's a bit uncomfortable just watching the process. Because he feels like because he knows he should be there, but he feels like he shouldn't at the same time.
Yeah. So, 10 minutes pass. and he goes, the Borealis. It's a very powerful magical artifact that was crafted from the finger of a frost aspect.
The finger of a frost aspect.
Yes, an aspect of frost.
Hmm.
It was so powerful that it was sealed away somewhere by the tender. That just holding it and placing it in the ground would freeze everything around it solid and would spread indefinitely.
So it spreads almost like a disease?
Something like that, yes. But that's about all I can glean from this information.
Well, it very well may...
You may have to speak with the tenders about it at some point.
The tenders. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, sir. I apologize.
Yeah.
I apologize. I can tell that it was a very costly endeavor.
No worries. I can always get more materials for such a spell, in case I really should get on with this other ritual spell.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure you...
I'm terribly sorry. There was one final bit that I needed to speak with you about.
what would that be?
Well, the Dean shared some interesting information with my companions and I. You were starting to make some disconcerting predictions. What exactly were they?
Well, allow me to demonstrate. And he casts some magic into the circle with the animal bones, and they begin to glow. A soft voice speaks from the ethereal plane, and it says, "A black heart lies among the white and gray, but in the dimness it is hard to say. Who is friend and who is foe? The master, weal, the monster, woe."
Was that one of your divinations?
Yeah, it's something that has been revealed to me every day for the last few weeks. I'm not sure what to make of it.
Master and monster.
The first line might hint to some form of threat that may come from people trust on campus. Students, or perhaps even a faculty member.
Well, I have my own theories, but unfortunately I am not too confident in any of them to share.
That's fair. There's still a lot that we don't know about all of this.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I apologize for holding you up.
No, don't worry about it. Come back anytime if you need any more fortunes told.
Of course. Thank you very much, sir. Rallis takes the book and he leaves.
Alright, so that's his done. Who was next? That was Rook and Henrietta next.
Yep.
So you are going to the dormitories to check up on Figgery Figgins.
Figgery Figgins.
Yeah, who is a Jardine who's on sick leave. He is close.
Okay, I'm just gonna walk into the main room. He's like, This is like,
Henrietta.
I'm going
Henrietta's
to...
Henrietta's gonna knock.
Alright. Henrietta first, then Rook.
Yeah.
Henrietta knocks on the door.
Okay, the door to the dormitory room opens only with a crack, and through it you can see a small eye looking at you nervously, and a timid voice goes, "Who are you? What do you want?"
Out of character, what's this character's name again?
Figgery.
Or we suppose.
Figure, is it?
Yes.
My name's Henrietta, and this here is my associate, Rook.
Cool.
Okay.
Now I'm just confusing the kid.
You're confusing the chicken, too.
Well, I'm sorry, there's someone after me. I would like to have, some sort of...
He's right there.
Anyway, this here's my associate. We're here to ask you a couple of questions, if you
Okay,
don't mind.
the moment you say questions, he closes the door and he says, "Please leave. I don't want to talk."
I'm a paladin.
And I don't have time for this.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Make a persuasion check?
Yeah, make a persuasion check.
That'd be me.
Oh, I guess I don't have to.
Okay, he slightly opens the door again. It's just a paladin. Okay. You can come in, I guess. He allows you to into the room.
Okay, and I guess I kind of like walk in.
Okay, you see him, and he looks pale and weak. It's like what happened to you, Rook, only much worse. His face is drained of color, his eyes are heavy, and he looks like he hasn't slept at all.
Okay, well, I know how he feels.
Okay.
Can I look at the ground to see his shadow?
He still has a shadow.
Okay, so this is slightly different. Or this is just like sustained. He's like, I'm gonna ask him. Like, so have you been down to the deep into the library recently?
I know that students aren't allowed down there.
Really? Because you kind of look how I felt the other night.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what happened.
I'm gonna kind of like I'm leading in with like my skullish looking mask.
Yeah. He's
like,
a little uncomfortable.
Do tell. Don't spare the details.
It was okay. It was cold. It was a cold night. It was raining, and I could hear scratching, like something scraping at the wall outside my window. And he points over to this window in particular. It had, when I looked out, I saw it. This huge monster was climbing with its claws. It saw me too. It had 4 eyes.
Becca, one sec. You're cutting out like every.
Really? I am?
Yeah.
That's just kind of his character. He's stuttering.
Okay, it's like I heard like monsters climbing.
Okay, it was, this huge monster was climbing with its claws. It saw me too. It had 4 eyes. 4 big red eyes. It opened its mouth and I think I passed out. When I woke up, I felt so sick, and it was just gone. You probably think I'm crazy. You probably think I'm crazy, don't you?
We've seen weirder things.
Mm.
Don't worry.
No.
Did you report any of this?
I did, but no one really believed me.
What about showing them that you don't have a shadow?
I do have a shadow. Look.
Oh.
He does have a shadow.
Oh, I thought
he's just really pale.
Rook is gonna kind of like jump on the bed and kind of look out the window.
Okay, you look out the window and look at the walls.
Meantime, Henrietta's trying to comfort the Gerbean.
Okay. While you do that, Rook, I would like for you to make an investigation check.
Investigation. 18.
Okay. You notice marks on the trunk surface, as well as a few pieces of bone peeking out of the soft earth at the ground level. You could easily climb down and pick up the bones, and the marks on the trunk are actually quite faded, and they're a lot subtler than the ones you would expect from Figure's stories.
Okay, how long ago was this?
It was actually a couple of days ago.
Okay. Okay, because these markings are a little bit faded. I mean, this kind of seems like it happened a little bit. Okay, Henrietta, can you just like make sure he just sticks around? I'm just gonna get these what looks like bone.
Okay.
Do you mind if I try something quick? It's a skill I've recently learned. It's called Divine Health.
Divine Health. Divine magic flowing through you makes you immune to disease.
Yeah.
But that's only for you specifically.
Yeah, Divine Health
Yeah,
only applies to you, but your lay on hands can cure a condition.
Well, alright then, let me try my lay on hands.
Okay.
Let's see, where is it?
Should be near the top.
Yep.
Okay, just let me check something real quick.
I mean, I'm certain this is. I doubt it'll work. This is probably a curse, not an actual disease.
Yeah, he's not feeling any better about it.
You tried going to the clerics?
Yes, I did. And they kind of looked at me like they said that my wife was sucked out of me and I needed more rest.
Would Henrietta know anything about this?
No, he wouldn't. Meanwhile, Rhett, you go down to the ground level and you pick up one of the looks like a talon bone.
A talon bone.
Yeah, and the moment you pick it up, your fur stands on end. There's something about this that isn't right, and it's freaking you out.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of like.
It's just this immense
with
sense of dread.
With a shaky hand, I'm just gonna kind of compare the talon to the claws on the trunk.
It's actually kind of a match, but this claw is significantly bigger.
So it is kind of a match, but doesn't look like deep enough. Okay,
and
then.
Since you made an investigation check, something about these particular claw marks looks like it's been tampered with through magical means. But you're not entirely sure what, because you're not proficient in Arcana. Or really know any magic for that matter.
You know some magic.
You know some magic, but not a lot of it.
Yeah, nothing but little parlor tricks. So I mean, I guess
you could make an Arcana check, but
no, I'm just gonna kind of crawl my way back out into the window.
Okay, you're back at near the window.
And I'm just gonna ask. I'm gonna ask him like if he knows anything about this. It's like showing him. It's like, do you know anything about this? It's like this was kind of like found like right under your window.
Oh.
Okay, that's not an answer. Do you know anything about this? Yes or no?
It might be from that monster the other night.
Might be, or it is.
I don't know.
Henrietta places a calming wing on the Jerbean's shoulder. It's okay. No one's going to hurt you.
Oh,
Like, does the claw look like the one you described on the monster?
it definitely looked kind of bird-like.
Bird-like.
Like it was made out of. It looked like a bird, but it was very, very monstrous.
Sort of like some sort of construct?
Maybe? I don't know. It was dark. All I could see was its eyes.
Do you have any other roommates that we could talk to?
You could maybe. I don't know. I don't really go out much.
You don't talk to them much.
Henrietta, is your divine sense a passive thing?
Divine sense is active. You actually have to have to use it.
Yeah.
Shall I play Divine Sense?
I mean, you could, because that bone that Rook was carrying gave him a really bad feeling.
Alright. Getting a really bad feeling from seeing that. Henrietta uses her Divine Sense again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is necromancy for sure. There's something really strong about this.
Partner, could I talk with you in private for a moment?
Yeah, and can you hold on to this? And I'm like, I'm not. It's like, this is kind of freaking out.
Yeah, he hands it to you, and you feel that exact same sense of dread.
Yeah, no takebacks.
Yeah, I motion Rook to one of the empty rooms. Well, okay. Making sure the Jerbean isn't hearing. Henrietta whispers to Rook. This is necromancy.
Yeah,
100% necromancy. And what was the thing you said, Becca?
It's very strong necromancy.
It's very potent.
Think it has anything to do with that Oddwald guy?
I don't know.
Since you're proficient in medicine, could I have you make a medicine check?
Sure.
Where do you think this bone came from?
Oh yeah, these are actually Earthfolk bones.
This is some bird folk's bone.
Okay, it could be like a raptor, could be a crow, could be
do I know the specifics?
It's a bit too small to make out anything else.
It's pretty small.
Perhaps we should go talk with the necromancy instructor. I mean, I just spoke with him the other day. Maybe they might know something.
We should get... Are there any more of these? Where you found this?
There were about 3 of them. You picked all of them up.
Yeah. It's like, here's the other 2, and I kind of just drop them in your palm.
Henrietta narrows her eyes.
They all emit a very strong sense of necromancy.
This is worse than holding 30 skunks.
And they all appear to be quite different from each other.
Can I examine the other 2 bones?
You do examine them with that other medicine check. They're all different. It's hard to make out which bone came from where.
These other 2 bones, they don't match this one.
Think they have anything to do with any missing students or hurt students?
Probably.
It's a good chance, but are you certain that this necromancy guy is on the level with us?
Like, you mean, does he know what we're up to?
Is he on our side, is what I'm asking.
Well, it's all about the intent. Like, where was this monster going? Up the trunk.
because why I'm thinking we should take this to the necromancer. He feller. I feel like we should get some holy help with this too.
I mean, that is a thought. But,
Maybe we can find out what sort of spell is it. Or maybe if we're lucky, find a way to use it to trace who cast it.
You know what? That is a thought, but I'm kind of more curious as to where this monster was going.
From the looks of the claw marks, it looked like it was just going up to any window that it could find.
Okay.
What? Do you have any idea what's in this tower? Or what in this section?
Mostly just, it's ground floor dormitories. It's the dormitories.
Okay.
So, anything above us?
Above, just more classrooms, and there's the dean's office. But it didn't really go up that high.
Oh, so like it found the first window it was looking for, and then it just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Something stinks.
Okay.
If this thing is responsible for, the disappearances, there's something even bigger going on.
Okay, meanwhile, Palace, what are you doing?
Well, I grab a coffee, and then I head down to the library to try and work out what's in that book.
Okay. You go down to the lower library? There are actually a whole bunch of other libraries.
Yeah, well, yes, I do go down into the lower library, although not the section where we were attacked by shadows.
Okay then.
Yeah, so rolling Arcana with advantage. Thank you very much, Alice.
No problem.
That what I was hoping for.
It takes you a whole day to parse through all of this. And you still don't quite know all the you still don't quite know how to parse all the calculations to pinpoint exactly where the conjuration circle is.
Great.
Well, no problem. You can always come back to me and get another one, and then you can try again.
Honestly, I think after that, I'm just going to go see the conjuration teacher.
Yeah, you could. There is also the last lead. No one's actually gone through that yet.
The last lead, that was the complaint about the skeletons, right?
Yes.
Alright, well, after Talus's bit, it loops back around to Rallis, right?
Well,
Sure.
well, yeah, I guess.
Alright.
Well, you know what, let's just say after we've all done that, everyone meets back up and we follow up the last lead.
Okay.
Now, I was going to go see the conjuration teacher next.
Okay, you actually see Jell in the lobby. He is the red cardinal. Over here.
One moment, it's kind of blocking my field of vision. Okay. There, okay, where's me?
Yeah.
There.
He's right there.
I was looking for my own token.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so here.
And she kind of looks a little bit perturbed. But she is reading for I guess, extra credit. With her own personal studies.
Right. Hey, hello?
Oh, yes? Can I help you?
Yes, I was doing some calculations to pinpoint something, but I haven't been able to get it quite right. Could you look over it? And I hand her the book.
Oh, this is some very complex stuff. I don't think I can actually help you with that. Maybe you should ask the conjuration professor.
Yeah, the conjuration professor was who I was trying to look.
You can probably find her in her office upstairs.
Out of character, that is who I was looking for.
Right. Okay, so.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go up there.
Okay, while you do that, what's everybody else doing?
I'm gonna stick around with Henrietta. And I guess go up to necromancy instructor.
Okay, and what's Rallis doing?
He comes back, and knowing that Henrietta and Rook had probably chased up the second lead, Talus is probably going to be spending most of the day on figuring out that book. He decides to follow up the last lead.
Okay. And you do find her based on her description, a Sarah Luma who looks like a red cardinal.
This girl, yeah?
Yeah, she
Alright.
is reading.
Alright. Rallis comes to her side and he says, "Excuse me, miss."
Oh, yes, hello, how can I help you?
My name is Rallis Greenborough. It's a pleasure to meet you. I apologize for the interruption.
That's no worries. I was just reading for extra credit. I'm Gel Platinum. Pleasure to meet you.
He shakes her hand.
Yeah, shakes hands.
Now then, if I understand correctly, you lodged a complaint with the student board that the bird skeletons have been acting strangely lately.
Yeah. She kind of stares over at this bird folk skeleton who's just sweeping the floor. You see, she kind of leans in to your ear to whisper, okay, here's what happened. I was finishing up an extra credit assignment for Professor Leechwood in the potions lab when something strange happened.
What happened?
The servitors that were cleaning up the lab stopped. They walked out of the lab. They went toward the crossing platform. I was curious, so I followed them. It looked like they were headed into the lower library. I would have followed them down there, but I don't have access to the lower level.
So it's almost and keeping his whisper, he says, so it's almost as though some unseen force commanded them down to the depths of the school.
Yeah, probably. I did file a notice about this to the administration the same day, but I figured it was their doing since I didn't really hear anything back.
That's certainly peculiar.
It's like a planned drill or maintenance. I don't have more information about this. You could ask the necromancy professor Glinda Nightseed for more information. She knows more about skeletons than I do.
Rallis nods and starting to see a pattern. Everything seems to link back to her somehow. He nods and he says, "Thank you very much for your time, miss."
Of course.
No need. Do not fret over the servitor or any such other rumors you may hear. My companions and I are taking care of it.
All right. Thank you.
Best of luck with your Best of luck with your extra credit.
Best of luck for your investigation.
And
he goes back to reading.
With that in mind, Rallis probably heads over to the necromancy teacher.
Okay, so Alice, you go to see Reese Birchwalker in her office. Let me fix that up real quick. Put that there. And bring Reese out over here. There we go.
student has returned.
Ah, Talus, how can I help you this time?
You and you can help me. You can help me fix this.
Let's see. A lot of the information on here is pretty. Actually, it's torn. Who did this?
What?
It's all torn up. I'm not sure where the actual. What exactly are you trying to find here?
There's somewhere out in the Scorched Grove. There's a massive conjuration seal. I'm trying. These calculations are to determine its location, but the results data has all been ripped out.
Well, if you meet me back here tomorrow, I can definitely help you assist with figuring out the calculations for this.
Will do.
Alrighty. Good day. It's a tutor session then. Just like old time.
Rallis gets Talus gets flashbacks to just how terrible they used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so that's done.
War flashbacks.
Something like that.
So, up next is the necromancy teacher, I presume.
Most likely.
Yeah. And I believe Henrietta and Rick are already on that.
Yep.
Yeah, and Talus isn't that far behind.
So I'm just gonna kind of like knock before I enter.
Okay. Hello again.
Hello.
Core, was it?
Yes.
Nice to meet
me.
you.
We just have a few more questions. Little investigation.
Oh, investigation. Okay.
Yeah, you know the librarian you sent us to go check up on? Said you said he was kind of acting a little bit funny.
Yes, I did.
Okay, well he was kind of acting funny, but like kind of like a seemingly normal funny. But anyways, we did come across something that you might tell us about. We ran into these things that look like our own shadows trying to kill us.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Another incident, I guess. Oh.
Yeah. Well, the shadows are gone, but perhaps perhaps you would know anything about these. I mean, associate of ours told us that they're somewhat necromantic.
Yes. I would assume like something like that. That's a spell that powerful. I did read up something like that from a particularly cursed book called the Necronomicon.
Oh. Okay then. Well, that doesn't sound foreboding in the slightest.
Charming name.
I currently don't have it on me at the moment, considering I put it back in the library. But I did scour through it.
Then perhaps you could tell us about these, and Henrietta plops the bones onto his desk, right in front of him.
On her desk, yeah.
They were outside one of your students' windows.
Oh. She takes a look at it, gets that same sense of unease. She casts Detect Magic on herself, and she goes, oh yes, this is definitely something sinister. Oh,
Can you give us some details?
this is definitely some form of powerful necromancy, something akin to the Necronomicon.
Something akin to an Necronomicon.
What is akin to Necronom? Whatever you call it.
The Necronomicon.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful tome created by a mad necromancer.
Well, you think there's a way you can find out who cast this magic?
I'm afraid I'm not entirely sure who would actually use such things.
So there's no way to create create some sort of magic bloodhound to sniff out the caster who's
Hmm,
magic.
hmm, I'm not sure. Even if someone were to use something like locate object, it probably wouldn't quite work.
Or even scrying?
Hmm. Or even that.
Okay, now, do you know anyone with maybe the capabilities to cast such spells?
Only someone who had access to the Necronomicon would be able to cast something this powerful.
Okay. Is there anyone else in this faculty or other students that would have access to it?
It's supposed to be stored in the lower library.
Okay, well, we were just there. And I guess some figure was there before us that kind of ran from the scene of the crime.
Considering the circumstances and all the evidence that has been lining up, perhaps the individual who escaped also escaped with the Necronomicon. Sorry, the Necronomicon.
That was very likely.
I mean, you could investigate the room. Well, anyways. There was something else, Valis, that you wanted to talk to her about?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yes, Miss... I apologize. What was your name again?
I am Professor Glinda Nightseed.
Miss
At your
Nightseed.
service.
Miss Nightseed. Rallis Greenborough. He holds out his hand towards her.
She shakes it. You shake it. She doesn't really have a strong grip. She appears a little nervous.
Yeah, and Rallis in contrast does have a pretty strong grip himself. You know, virtue of being a strig. And he clears his throat and he says, "Anyway, madam, I spoke with a student recently who lodged a complaint with the board, and she says that the servitor birds have been acting, well, not lately, but they acted strange the day she lodged the complaint."
The moment you mentioned this, she kind of looks a little nervous. She says, I couldn't guess as to why that might be happening, I'm afraid.
Do I believe her?
I couldn't guess as...
No, I mean, that's me as the player asking, do I believe her? In other words, can I insight check her?
Yes, you can roll insight. She's lying. She is absolutely lying.
Rallis sighs and he says, "Madam, I would appreciate if you were forthright with me."
I'm afraid this isn't exactly something I'm willing to talk about. I'm not going to be discussing this subject any further. Please leave.
I slam my hand on the desk. No, you are going to...
Madam.
Roll intimidation.
Roll intimidation. Why do I keep Xing out of my thing? Roll intimidation.
No one when you do that.
No.
You slam the
desk.
You slam your hand on.
Ow.
Yeah. You slam your hand on the desk and like, ow, splinter. Anyway.
Yes, it's like, ow, that hurt. It's like,
I would like for all of you to please leave.
Very well then, madam. I do hope you will reconsider, though.
Maybe
Because
some other time, but not here.
Very well then. As Rallis leaves, he just says, "Bear in mind, the information you may hold could save someone's life. It could save countless lives, depending on what you're hiding. But
Hmm.
but if you're not comfortable with sharing, I will not force you.
I understand, sir.
And he just leaves, waiting for everyone outside.
I'm just doing
I
what's right for everyone.
I cast lay on hands on Rook's hands to heal him of any injury.
Yeah, okay. And she asks you all to leave as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking at Henry and just like, kind of like, kind of like almost gesturing. It's like, no, maybe you should press a little bit more. I mean, if she is
She
lying,
might call security on you if you press even more.
I grab Rook by the collar and just drag him out.
Okay, I kind of make the gesture like that, like I'm watching you gesture,
Okay.
like 2 eyes.
He
to
is
my eye.
visibly sweating.
Well,
Yeah,
Okay.
he's doing that while he's being dragged. That's gotta be comical.
Yeah.
Okay, it is now nighttime.
Okay.
I mean, everybody's pretty much gone to bed at this point.
well,
And you do have the option of sneaking into her office, Glinda's office, to uncover what's going on.
Okay, I was about to suggest maybe like tailing her,
yeah. Now then.
But
but I guess
Don't
if
you-
raiding her office is also an option, sure, why not?
don't you think maybe she might have booby trapped her office?
Nah.
No, I don't believe so. I mean,
That would
mean
cause
she's hiding something.
that would cause quite a scandal, wouldn't you reckon? I mean, it's almost I mean, for example, if you place some sort of fireball spell on a cabinet when you open it, people would start to become suspicious. It
Yes, I mean that is fair.
one slip up of a trap such as that, and you end up drawing suspicion other than diverting it.
It is a classroom of all places. I mean, like, why would you have a fireball classroom that anyone could trip off? Seems a little bit,
Hang on,
reckless.
you were lagging. What did you say?
Seems a little bit reckless, don't you think?
Well, I've heard of stories of students who go through great lengths to steal the answer sheet to final exams and whatnot.
I know, but that seems like an extreme punishment.
I'm
It
not
wouldn't
too
be a bad It wouldn't be bad punishment. Like their fur or feathers could be the color of polka dots for several days.
true, but it's pretty
Wizard.
clear. It's rather clear that she's hiding something. I want.
Well, I'll take caution.
Well,
Okay, it's night outside and everybody has gone to bed. You... I assume that you're all just deciding to sneak in.
Okay.
Uh,
I would
actually,
like to use my.
I was thinking we send Rook alone.
Okay.
Okay.
yeah,
I would like to. Before I'm distracted again.
Going to set up alarms in all of our beds. In all of our beds, just in case. I'm gonna ritual cast alarm for all our beds, just in case. Just in case anything gets any ideas.
Okay. As I was saying, I would like to make a. I guess I would like to disguise myself in a very dark blue.
Okay.
Because like that is kind of like the ninja color where you are not seen in the dark.
yeah. That's all. That's apparently the big contention is that ninjas never dress in full black. It's always navy blue so that they stand out less.
Oh yeah, because like if you dress in all black, it does have a reflection.
Yeah,
or
there
it
you
does
go.
reflect light.
Yeah, there you go.
Mostly ninjas will just dress like a random nobody, so they don't stand out at all.
But in
like,
the cases when
anyways,
yeah, anyway,
we're going off track here.
yeah, go for it.
Staying on track. Okay, so I'm like to use my disguise kit.
Okay.
I guess I should roll for that.
You don't have to.
Okay. But
Because
anyways,
there's not a lot of people out here that could actually see you in the dead of night. It's pretty quiet in here.
Okay, well, anyways, I would like to kind of make my way towards the office.
Okay, you go straight to the office, and I haven't actually made an office thing, so we're using the classroom.
Boo.
I'm
Anyway.
sorry.
I mean, let's be honest, for efficiency, they probably make all the offices and classrooms the same anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, anyways, I would like to, or see if
The door's open.
the door is wide open. It's like it's not like rigged for any like.
Nope.
Okay, I would like to, I guess, sneakily make my way inside, like nice and slowly.
Okay. There's no one inside.
Okay.
It's
And I would
dead
like to
quiet.
I would like to use my familiar to check around like all the cupboards for like hidden compartments.
Okay.
around here.
See, it's just tables over there, but there is a compartment over in the desk as well as a dresser.
Okay. I would like to sneakily make my way over to the desk over here.
Okay. There is a drawer in the desk, but it has a lock on it.
It's like, when will they learn a lock will never keep out an experienced rogue?
If you have thieves' tools, you can unlock it.
Okay, one sec. Let's see if I actually do have thieves' tools. I got a burglar's pack. Yeah, I've got thieves' tools.
You should have thieves' tools, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's standard issue for, like, every starting equipment. You should have thieves' tools.
For every
No,
rogue,
I
you
didn't
should
have
have thieves' tools.
I didn't have shit like my disguise kit or my forgery kit.
Eh.
I got
Okay.
Okay, roll it.
Okay, roll.
Roll for thieves' tools.
6.
The pick gets caught.
Okay, I'm gonna carefully get the pick out.
Okay, roll again. You're starting to get to it, but it's not quite open.
I'm gonna kind of like put my hand underneath the desk, like underneath where the drawer would be, and just kind of like see if there's any like hidden latches or what.
No, there is not.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna make one more attempt.
Roll with advantage then.
Roll with advantage. 22.
Yeah, okay. You managed to finally get it open. And inside, you find a whole bunch of notes that reveal that Glinda Nightseed has been manipulating the servitor skeletons.
Does it look like her handwriting?
Oh yeah, it's her handwriting.
Is there any other anyone else that's not hers?
No.
Okay.
It appears to be something. She wants to actually figure out some cutting edge magic for a resurrection spell.
For a resurrection spell. So I'm gonna try and see if there's like any like spare piece of paper in there that written on.
Yeah, okay.
And
So,
I'm gonna try and make a forgery.
Oh jeez. No, Mac, no.
Why? Well, like I'm just making a forgery of her notes, so I can leave the forgery behind and take the real notes.
Okay. Meanwhile, your snake is hissing to get your attention over at this floor.
Okay, like 1 second, as I'm like gathering up the notes and making a quick little copy.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the notes right, like the fake notes back where I found the originals, and kind of like close up the drawer, lock it, make it look like it wasn't there, then kind of go over to the then kind of like go over to my drawer. Oh crap! Sorry, the thing's kind of going weird on me.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, this is getting weird on me. It's like, I'm gonna go over to the
if
cabinet.
If it's getting a little difficult, you can use the arrow keys when you select your token to move.
Okay. You check the cabinet. It's a bookshelf, and inside, you see a very ominous-looking black book.
Okay. I am going to cover my hand, kind of like with my sleeve, and just kind of grab it.
Okay. It has a bird skull on it, and it's very clearly the Necronomicon that you spoke of.
Okay. Well, is this like a particularly banned book that I would know of?
It's a very forbidden book that should never leave the lower library for any reason.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in my sack, and I'm also gonna kind of make a quick little look for at the other books.
The other books are just general necromancy on theoretical stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna take a beginner's book, or I'm gonna take like a necromancy for dummies.
Okay, you pick up necromancy for dummies.
Resurrecting your loved ones for the inept.
Exactly. And I'm gonna close up the cabinet and kind of like make my way out real quick.
Okay. The night goes by without another word.
Okay, nice and quiet. In and out.
Okay.
That you hear that? That's the sound of a heist completed.
You hear
It
that?
took a while, but
it...
yeah. Okay. So it's the next morning. What would you all like to do today?
Okay. I'm gonna make a. I'm gonna show Henrietta the Necronomicon. Hey, we're gonna have to keep this really between us, okay? We're not gonna share this with anybody else. Not gonna tell the truth.
It's a banned book.
Yeah, this is not a good book. This is actually very incriminating. If we're caught with this, we could get in a lot of trouble.
Dream?
Am I working?
Yeah, you're working.
Dream?
I think Dream might be muted.
No, she's not muted.
Well,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's just being preoccupied at the moment.
Okay, I guess I'm telling this to Rallis, being the other very forthright person.
Guys, you're really
Okay.
laggy.
Oh,
You guys are
okay.
really lagging on my end.
Sorry. So I guess I'm telling Rallis, Talis, and Henrietta that this is going to stay between us. We're not going to be telling anybody the truth of what happened.
Rook.
Okay.
If we are caught with this book, we are in a lot of trouble.
Rook.
And this is coming from the rogue.
Henrietta glares at him. I'll keep quiet, but you better work fast.
Okay.
Rook, Rook, I will commend your.
Anyways,
I will commend your skills certainly, but yes, it was rather there was quite a bit of lack of foresight in bringing it back here. I'm sure if we brought it to the dean and explained it to him, he would understand, but yes, if we are caught as we are, then things will not look entirely advantageous.
Okay. Well, we're going to hold on to this, but, however, we can go to the dean with these as I slip out the papers in the one instructor's handwriting.
Are these the necromancy teacher's writing?
Yeah, and she's planning on doing a little bit of manipulating of skeletons that are already dead. Kind of the control on dead sort of
Isn't that what necromancy does?
Well,
I don't know. I have not actually spent the time to read this book as I kind of like take out the Necromancy for Dummies book. I'm not
Yeah,
actually taking
for
Rallis,
for
yeah.
in the avium, the for practical necromancy is banned on campus.
Mm-hmm.
So showing the notes that you got from Professor Glinda Nightseed's office to the dean could get her fired.
Okay. So, we're going to go to the dean with these notes and kind of withhold the Necronomicon until he actually, asks for it. And, trying to, before, she has any time to, hide anything. Taking the book out of play for her works in our advantage.
I understand that, certainly, but... Perhaps
she can't destroy the evidence if we have the evidence.
That's true. I can't help but... Perhaps I'm just too... Perhaps I'm a little too naive, but I can't help but feel as though it's not as simple as her just doing something wrong. Rallis is seeing through the notes, yeah?
Yeah, I think we kind of have to press her for intentions are. I mean, she did say she would talk to us again, but
well, we should have the dean as backup at the very least, correct?
Yes, just kind of keep him informed.
Well, he did hire us, so it only stands to reason.
Yes. So, anyways, should we go to the dean? Give him a small report?
I agree with that.
Okay.
Is Talus and Henrietta doing anything, or...?
She's muted. Her internet is acting up.
Okay.
Talus is gonna go have his meeting with the Conjuration.
Okay, you do that, and she is gladly going to help you with all of that. To pinpoint to try and pinpoint where the Conjuration Circle is. So roll me another intelligence or Arcana check with advantage.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say Talus would have probably come to Rowless for the enhanceability again.
No, the Professor Birchwalker is helping him at this time.
Okay, well there you go. No spell slot. There we
go. That's better.
Okay. You do manage to pinpoint where the Conjuration Circle is in the Scorched Grove.
How deep into the Scorched Grove is it?
It's pretty deep. It's like dead center in the Scorched Grove. Well, actually,
we're gonna have to find a way to get there.
Well, it's actually. Hold on. Let me recheck that. Yeah, it's actually near the edge of the Scorched Grove, near the very back.
No, then we're going to have to go around it.
Yeah. So, anyways, everyone else is going to the dean to report in, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. You go to the dean's office to report on what's going on. And he's just as disorganized as ever, and he sees you come in, and it's like, oh, you're back.
Okay, can you clear off your desk for a second?
Oh, yes, of course. If you shove some of the papers to the side.
Okay, and then I'm going to take out all the necromancer teacher's notes and just kind of slap them on his desk right in front of him. It's like, yeah, this was in the possession of your necromancy instructor.
Oh, what's this? And he starts reading through it, and his eyes start going wider and wider as he's reading all of this, and goes, this type of research is banned on campus. Who wrote these?
Okay, well, do you consider this a very dangerous kind of magic by any chance?
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't exactly call it dangerous.
Okay,
more,
so
well, practical necromancy is banned on campus due to how controversial it can be.
yeah, so like raising the dead is kind of a big no-no.
Well, yes,
Okay.
with the exception of the servitor skeletons, who were donated.
Well,
I think those notes, describe how she's planning on, or how she planned on, kind of bending them to her will. Maybe we should, call her up here. Maybe have a little bit of heart-to-heart talk inside a circle of truth, if you know what I mean.
You see, are you absolutely sure that she might be the one responsible for all of the incidents that might have been happening?
Probably not, but we don't think she's really, being honest with us. And this is very incriminating evidence.
This is indeed very incriminating evidence. I will call her up here immediately.
oh
Okay,
yes,
we'll
and
just,
and as well as call a cleric, perhaps that note that has Zone of Truth ready, because I do not have it ready.
Okay. Yeah, do you know any other instructors that would know something like that? Kind of compel someone to tell the truth.
No, I'm afraid not.
Oh, that's a pity. Guess we'll have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Well,
So
he leans into Rook and he says, "Worst comes to worst, I can cast Whole Person."
So he uses a sending spell, call her up, and a couple of minutes later, Professor Nightseed comes into the office.
Oh, hey, hello there. Nice seeing you again. Can you come closer, please?
Oh,
Take a seat.
what seems to be the issue, Dean?
Well, take a seat.
And she does indeed take a seat.
She does indeed take a seat. Okay.
And the dean goes, "Are you aware of these papers?" And she goes, "Those were supposed to be in my desk. Where did you find them?"
Well, let's just say they came into our possession. We had they were given to us by a source that would like to stay anonymous.
And the dean goes, "You are aware that this type of practical necromancy is banned on campus, yes?" And she goes, "Yes, Dean. But there's a very good reason for it. I wanted to create a more cutting edge resurrection spell with lowered cost for both materials and magical energy. And the servitor skeletons may have held the solution to completing this research." And he goes, "I'm afraid that this type of research cannot continue here while in the avian. Professor Glinda Nightseed, I'm afraid I'm going to have to revoke your position as professor. Please hand in your amulet." And she looks so downtrodden, but she completely understands.
Now, before you go, we kind of need to know if anyone else was working with you.
Well, not that I'm aware of. No, it was just me.
Not that you're aware of. So you're saying there might have been someone working with you?
No. I was the only one working on this type of research.
Okay. And would that explain why you're in possession of a Necronomicon?
What? I put that back in the lower library earlier.
Oh, so if we went down there, we'd find it.
It should be down there.
Really? Not in your cabinet?
No. Roll insight.
It's like, can I roll that with advantage because I have it?
Yes.
Insight. Where is it? There. 21.
She actually has no idea what you're talking about. There's something missing here.
Hold on for
But she doesn't have that answer.
So I'm going to turn to the dean and say, it's like, okay, so we have a little discrepancy here. Someone here was trying to perhaps frame Glinda here for something a little bit far worse than she's being accused of. I'm not saying she should keep her job, but we do believe that this story is not ending right here.
That is rather concerning. I suspect that you should continue with the investigation then.
Okay. I would like to ask, however, if you know if there is any such spells that would determine any past owners of a certain item and where to find them.
Let me check. And he rummages through a really old spellbook. Okay, I'm afraid I don't exactly have a proper spell to locate a person who was in possession of such a book.
Or was in possession of such a book.
Or was in possession.
So if, say, I was to, show you a copy of the Necronomicon found in his cabinet, we would not be able to determine who put it there.
Yes, you speak hypothetically?
What was that, Becca?
You speak hypothetically?
Yes. Yes, I'm totally speaking hypothetically. We don't know if there is a Necronomicon in Glinda's cabinet. Maybe we should all go down there and, make a little internal investigation.
You all can take
to figure this out.
Well, Rallis looks at them. You all can take care of that without me, correct? I wish to speak with the dean about something.
They're okay?
Very well. We will proceed with a more thorough investigation tomorrow.
Okay. Of course, I was only speaking hypothetically because there was a Necronomicon cabinet. I announce that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is clearly something to be saved for another day, but as it stands, he looks to Henrietta and Rook. Could you two please give us some privacy?
Fine. Glinda, you're going to be coming with us, and we'll,
No. Glinda stays.
More.
No. Glinda stays.
Very well, we'll just out the door.
Okay. So Rook and Henrietta leave, leaving only the Dean, Rallis, and Glinda Nightsuit.
Rallis takes in a deep breath and sighs. Now, Dean, I understand entirely that necromancy is banned in practical purpose for a reason. And due to its controversy, I understand that the Avium, as such an illustrious history as it has, cannot exactly risk it.
That is correct.
However, you have read Glenda's notes. Perhaps it is the naive individual in me speaking, but I do believe that she did not intend any actual harm. That I do believe she is intending to at least try and help improve the better aspects of necromancy. And he holds out his hand, and his hand starts to glow with a cure wounds. Necromancy is not all evil. It can be used for good. It can heal people, restore their life, or even remove a disease that was given to them by poor circumstances.
Linda is nodding along in agreement.
Now, I understand entirely if you can't exactly allow it to happen, but he looks over to Glinda. I do believe she had nothing but the best of intentions.
Be that as it may, Mr. Vallis, I must adhere to campus rules and regulations.
I understand.
She cannot continue her research here in the avium any longer.
I understand. I thought I would just... is it evocation? I thought it was
Yeah, Cure Wounds is evocation.
Right, sorry.
Yeah.
But there are...
It was necromancy in older editions.
Well, there's good necromancy stuff, that's the point.
Yeah.
So, throwing out the Cure Wounds stuff, you entirely get what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I understand. I just wanted to make a case for her, as all. As, well, she does deserve at least a fair chance.
Understandable.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time, Dean.
Of course.
As he passes Glenda, he puts a hand on her shoulder, and he says, "Meet me outside of the avium once you are relieved." And he leaves the room.
Right. Okay, so that'll be it for that. And it's already starting to get late. As one of you decides to go back to the dormitories, there is a scrawled note that was snuck under the door. Where is it? Here it is. Did everyone get that?
No.
No?
There it is.
Okay. Once you return to the dormitories, there's a scrawled note that was pushed under the door.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, got it.
I just need to pull it up.
Right.
Okay, it looks like it's made in aviarium stationery.
Yeah, it's really scrawled.
The Forestarium, Center Building, East Wing, Midnight. Come alone. I know where the missing pages are.
Okay, is this intended for any one person?
It's intended for all four of you and you alone.
If we want to bring in an extra perch guard, I can turn them invisible.
I believe we'll be all right. If this individual knows where the missing pages are, then chances are they'll be able to see if someone is invisible or not. You wizards are a rather tricky bunch.
We take pride in it.
Let's not tempt fate. Us four alone.
Okay. So what do you do?
Seems like it'll be just us four.
Yes.
Okay, so you go to the forest terrarium late at night, which is all the way up here.
On the way there, I cast see invisibility on myself.
Okay.
Just a quick question. Glenda is probably, at least currently, cleaning out her office, and she'll be leaving the next day, yeah?
Yeah, she is.
Alright, just wanted to make sure of that.
She's cleaning up her office. So, it's late at night, and you go over to the forest terrarium. It's a dark, moonless night, but it's pretty clear out today. You step onto the large floating disc that houses the forest terrarium. and you find yourself in an unusual woodland with several types of trees that don't look quite right beside one another. In the center of this place is a building made up of a great central dome which branches off into two semi-spherical wings on either side. It's deathly quiet here. So, you enter the terrarium. It looks like a museum. Did you guys get any of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like a museum.
It looks to be a museum. There's no door into the central building. It's just a wide archway that leads into the interior. There's magical recreations of extinct plants. There are fossils behind on the walls and in glass cases. There are these figures of what appear to be animals found throughout the wood, and as well as other skeletons to the east wing, in which you hear the sound of chanting carrying over from over there.
You all hear that, right?
A little bit, yes.
Everyone on guard.
I'm going to send my familiar over to kind of check the source of the sound.
Okay, you, let me just bring up your familiar again.
Yeah, always.
There you go. You can move them around.
Okay, I'm trying to zoom in here. There's a little guy. It's being funny with me.
Okay, I can move them for you if you want.
Yeah, well, like, every time I try and click and drag, like, my entire screen moves.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, getting weird.
And it's coming from the east wing with all the fossils and skeletons.
That's where it shall go.
Okay, you notice a dark circle over here with a cloaked figure in it. Chanting. A dark ritual circle. With a cloaked figure.
I'm going to turn to my compatriots and say, it's like, guys, I think we should be preparing for a fight as I take out my longbow.
Yep, Rallis pulls out his warhammer and shield and gets ready.
Okay. Those fossils look like big skeletons, right?
Yeah, they're big skeletons.
Okay. I'm going to go around the other side, because I think this is very much going to be an ambush. I'm just going to go like...
The trees are very densely packed. You won't be able to get through it.
It's not even difficult terrain.
It's not even difficult terrain, I'm sorry.
Dang. Because it looks like there's like an exit on the other side.
Well,
okay.
Start sneaking and be prepared.
Yes.
Should one of us just go in? It's entirely possible that this is benevolent chanting.
Would you like me to go first?
Actually, can you roll Arcana? Like, if you know the chanting, if the chanting is malevolent or benevolent.
I don't think so. It's very mumbled.
Yeah, like, I mean...
Well, how about Henrietta and Rollis go in forthright, and meanwhile, Rook and I sneak.
That's a fair.
Okay.
That's a fair arrangement.
You mean like sneaking through these bushes in the shadows?
But yeah, Ralph says, Henrietta, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
Okay. And these are torchlit?
These
Like-
are magical mots of light.
Okay, so I can't do anything on those.
No.
Okay. So anyways, I'm going to... Jeez Christ. I guess I'm going to move over here.
Okay.
Just kind of, yeah, with myself.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm just going to tiptoe, just out in the open and completely invisible.
Okay. Talus gets to roll stealth with advantage.
Okay, I got 19.
Okay. No one sees you at all.
Okay.
As for all the other,
16.
okay. Yeah, he doesn't see you either.
I mean, I'm completely invisible, so I can't imagine he will.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna use...
So I'm...
One sec, if I may.
What I'm gonna... Oh, actually, yeah, you go first, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna use my familiar... Oh, jeez, moving all over the place. Like, if you can move my familiar over to above the figure in the back.
Okay.
It's
It's
kind of
currently flying above the figure.
Yeah, totally, just being normal part of the forest region, whatever. Seeing as it's a chant, I'm gonna have my familiar drop on the figure, kind of disrupt the chant. Just a natural animal doing its animal thing.
Okay, as soon as well, Talus and Henrietta were not stealth, so
Rallis and Henrietta, yeah.
the chanting is already finished by the time you get there, and all of a sudden, Talus, I would like for you to go back a bit. So hold still, please.
Yeah, like, Talus was kind of moving to, like, sort of head towards this exit in order to cut him off.
Yeah, you're about to, but then the chanting stops, and all of a sudden, the dark circle disperses, and you start to feel a low rumble coming from all the fossils in this room. They are all shuddering and starting to move.
This was a trap.
These giant elk skeletons jump off of the podium to attack you.
Well, it's a good thing I'm invisible. Like, so the moment I see this, I just shrink away from them real fast.
Yeah. Roll for
wow.
initiative.
Click on... No, I'm not. Hey, good initiative.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's everyone. As soon as initiative starts, the figure runs off.
Runs away?
Wait, maybe... Wait, he does not... I have to roll initiative?
He's at the start of initiative.
Dang. So anyways, I would like to have my familiar kind of, like, fly after him.
Okay, the
For
familiar
as
flies
long as
after.
he goes. Just
That-
kind of fly
that-
above him, kind of as reconnaissance.
Yeah, the familiar flies after him. Meanwhile, you have a bunch of giant elk skeletons to deal with. What do you do? You are stealth.
Okay, so I guess I get a advantage, or I get my sneak attack.
Yep.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is aim. Like, these things are absolutely fucking massive. And it's
Yeah,
only
they're pretty darn massive.
Only those two?
Just the two of them. But you see that these other skeletal figures, these fossils are beginning to move, and it wouldn't be a really nice idea to get near them.
Well, guys, I got something chasing after our culprit, and I think it's in our best interest to, as Henrietta would say, skedaddle.
Chase
Oh
off.
boy.
Chase after the fleeing individual. You think?
No, I got my little friend on that for me.
Okay.
Because this
So
does
what
not
do you...
look like a good situation right now.
No.
Well,
What do-
unfortunately, I did not hear this conversation.
Yeah,
Right, well-
you're invisible.
All right. Well, what are you gonna do?
Okay, well, I still have my longbow drawn. I guess I'm gonna make a pot shot, or I'm gonna make a quick shot at this thing.
Okay.
Okay, just gonna sneak attack, longbow, boom.
Ah. No, that does not hit. It bounces off the floor.
Like hits the antler. I'm like, oh
It
crap.
hits the antler and does nothing.
Okay, and I guess I'm gonna make a dash towards the exit. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's not working.
Okay. Where are you headed? Just
I would like-
dashing towards the exit?
I would like to move around here.
Okay. Right there.
Yep.
That's your bonus action. Okay, so now it's Rallis' turn.
All right. Let's see what I got.
Keep in mind, these are undead creatures.
I'm aware. Don't worry. Disadvantage on the save. 3d8. All right. Rallis is actually need to quickly check the distance on that one. 60. Gotcha. Distance 20. Rallis is going to cast Shatter on the closest animated skeleton. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And it needs to make a save. Constitution save.
Actually, hold on. I've going to expand my channel divinity for Wrath of the Storm.
Ooh.
No, wait, hang on, not Wrath of the Storm. I mean Destructive Wave. That's what it is. Sorry, Destructive Wave.
Destructive Wrath.
Destructive Wave.
Wrath.
Sorry, yeah.
You don't get Destructive Wave till level 9.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Sorry, just so that's 3 times 8.
You deal maximum damage.
Yep. So
8 plus 8 plus 8.
3 times 8. So that's 24.
8 times... It's 8 times 3, yeah. That's 24 damage. Okay. This thing takes 24 damage. Ew. But it's still standing.
Alright.
And they're both currently focused on you.
Alright, that's no problem.
Okay.
I will
It gets to
then...
move.
I will then back up about 20 feet. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Alice, it's your turn.
I was nowhere near that little whispered conversation, so I am going to keep running after the mysterious rogue figure.
Yeah, you are running after him, and you see him jump off the ledge.
Oh, good thing my plane's running after him.
Well, oh, damn it, he's gliding, isn't he?
Yeah, and you see him go off the edge, and he looks like he's holding up a piece of paper, and all of a sudden you see his wing begin to expand, and he's flying.
Not stopping my flying snake.
Oh,
Okay, the snake is still following after it, but as soon as the figure goes around one of the towers, it disappears.
This disappears.
Yeah, the figure disappears. The snake can no longer see him.
Great.
Yeah.
Did it catch a glimpse of where which tower specifically?
Just one of the outer spires.
Okay, I guess.
But as soon as it went behind the tower, it's gone.
I guess we're gonna have to go to that tower later.
Nah.
Yeah, my mistake. I'm gonna make a mental note through my. Check out the tower.
So, Henrietta is next. She's typing. She's going to hold an action.
Alright, so she's she's ready to attack when something comes into range.
Oh yeah, they're coming into range alright. They can move 40 feet. Goodness gracious.
And I guess
this one goes up to Rowley and begins to charge straight at him.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's nowhere near Henrietta. Let's see here.
Alright.
Your thing is 19. Goodness gracious, it doesn't hit. It does not connect.
Yep, other than you with it. When a creature you can see attacks a target other than you with that is within 5 feet, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage. Alright, well, so it doesn't hit regardless, yeah?
Yeah, it does not hit regardless.
Alright, fair enough.
This one is gonna move over here. And it's stamping its foot on the ground, ready to charge at Henrietta. Rick, it's your turn.
Okay, so seeing as shit's starting to hit the fan, and I have no other magical abilities whatsoever, which I should have. Well, over time, I guess Rook is starting to realize that maybe he should spend some of his money to get some silvered weapons. He's just gonna take his longbow and just kind of shoot at the more immediate threat while he's kind of getting ready to bail.
To book it.
Yeah, when things go really bad. So.
Okay, that's a hit. Yeah, you managed to pierce it in its skull.
Yeah, I also did get sneak attack damage, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay,
because someone is next to it.
Yeah.
So that deals 11 damage. Okay. It's still standing, though.
Okay.
Rallis, it's your turn. You currently have a giant skeletal elk trying to gore you to death.
Alright, well, can't use inflict wounds now. Not that I could anyway, so, Actually, now that it's within range... I will cast Thunderwave at the 2nd level.
Okay. Deals.
Now, con save. Yep, it's within a cone. It's within a 14-foot cone. I think I only get that one, so yeah.
Yeah, it fails. It takes the full brunt of 12 damage, and it gets pushed back. To about how much feet? 15. Right about there.
Alright, and I retreat back another 20 feet.
Okay. Alright, it's Talos' turn. You are still invisible.
Indeed, and okay, I'm gonna do a chromatic orb at the second level, but which one should I hit?
This one is lower health. This one's
And,
at full health. The second one is at full health.
yeah, like they've been wailing on that one, and oh yeah, I'm gonna hit the damage one first. Chromatic orb, second level, cold damage.
Okay. Cold damage.
And I am invisible, so I do get advantage.
Alright.
Oh.
Yeah, it didn't hit. Sorry.
Alright. Okay.
It only hit one of the plants. The plant has been flash frozen.
That was a really good damage roll.
Yeah, it was.
It was a good
I
damage
hate
roll.
attack roll spells so much.
Sorry,
Okay,
mate.
Henrietta's turn. She's backing away. She's gonna continue holding an action. Alright then.
Next level, I'm gonna be able to use lightning bolt, and then everything will be better.
And I can just electrocute everything.
It's the skeleton's turn.
More importantly, it's not able to miss.
This one charges straight for Henrietta. Ooh. And she's using an action to bat it away. You manage to block it with your shield and bat it away, which does a huge chunk of damage because it's bludgeoning.
Oh yeah, that's right. Skeletons are actually vulnerable to bludgeoning damage.
It's not looking too great. The other one is also gonna go straight for Henrietta with a charge. And oof, okay. Henrietta, I would like for you to make a strength saving throw. Oof, okay. You take... What is it? I need to do math. Let me do math real quick. This is a big number.
Oh boy.
You take 32 piercing damage. And you're pushed back 10 feet and knocked prone. You get knocked back into this tree.
No.
That's not good. I'm sorry.
I'm amazed you tanked that at all.
That would have knocked me out entirely.
Oof. Yeah, that's what you get for trying to run away from these things. Rook, it's your turn.
Okay, so I don't get my sneak attack anymore.
Nope.
And seeing things progressively just getting worse, I'm gonna back up towards the door and take another.
You're not gonna
shot.
try and shoot at it?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna make my turn and do a shot. Sneak attack and I'll go. 16.
Yeah, that's a hit.
And 9 piercing.
It's still standing, but just barely.
So it's kind of like being rickety.
Yeah, it looks like it's about to fall apart at any moment.
Okay, good.
All right.
Okay, Alice, it's your turn.
All right. Time to play Thor. As my action, I will take a swing at this thing one-handed with my warhammer. Pray it hits.
Yeah, that's a hit, and it pretty much into a pile of bones.
Alright. And as my bonus action, I will cast Healing Word at the second level. That's my final second level spell slot on Henrietta.
Okay, so she heals for 7 damage.
And that'll be my turn.
Alright then. Dallas, it's your turn.
Okay, no more chromatic orb. That thing is too unreliable. I'm gonna start pelting the one that's still standing with magic missiles.
Okay. Are you in range for magic missiles? You
Yes,
can always
I am.
move in.
120 feet.
Okay.
And the 2. And the 3.
Okay, 4, that deals 9 damage. It's still standing, but now it appears aware of your presence, even though you're still kind of... Are you still invisible? Probably not.
No, after that failed chromatic orb, the invisibility drops.
Yeah, you are no longer invisible. Okay. So now it's aware of your presence, but it's still focused on everything else.
Yeah, I am no longer invisible and no longer preparing chromatic orb after today.
Okay. Henrietta, you are prone. Oh, okay. She's currently preoccupied.
Okay.
Okay, she is not. She gets up from the ground. She is no longer prone.
Alright, she's no
Let me
longer.
give her back.
Alright.
Yep, she's no longer prone.
Heal me. So,
Yeah, you're healed. She is healed.
Well, yeah, you got 7 points of healing from Rala. Does that mean you want to cast Cure Wounds on yourself?
I'm gonna assume yes.
I mean, it's only the sensible thing to do, right?
Yeah, she's gonna cure herself for 3 damage. And I guess that'll be it. The skeleton is gonna go straight for Rallis and try to trample him.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, it just hits you for 18 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
Minus 18. Still standing. Still standing.
It's 18 bludgeoning damage.
Yep. Rallis gets hit and he's legs shaking a bit, but he's still standing. He's still standing.
Rook, it's your turn.
Okay, so...
Your friends are in trouble.
Yes, I'm hoping this thing doesn't make a dash action towards me. But I guess... my only option is to prepare another longbow shot.
You get sneak
you
attack.
have sneak attack.
8.
Just not advantage. Yeah, it misses.
Great.
Oh, that would have been good though.
Oh, God. There's absolutely nothing I can do in this position.
Alright.
Okay, Rallis, it's your turn.
Alright. Well, just gonna keep on at it. First, my action will be Warhammer. One-handed.
Okay. Yeah, that is a hit. It deals, instead of 4, it deals 8 bludgeoning damage.
Alright.
But it's still standing.
And, as a bonus action, I will cast Healing Word on myself just to keep myself in the fight a bit more. First level.
Alrighty. Heal for 6 damage. Hey, Talus, it's your turn.
And you know what? I'm gonna give Chromatic Orb another shake.
Okay.
Actually, hit this time, please. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Sorry. Okay, it is now Henrietta's turn.
Oh gosh.
And she's
Oh,
gonna
by the way,
hit
also,
the...
I would have had to move here for it to be in range.
Yeah. She's gonna go in and try to smack it with her mace. Let's see here. Mace. Oh.
No.
Oh no.
Thank you, Becca.
It's a nat 1. I am so sorry. Yeah, it doesn't work. You kind of just kneel back down. But thankfully, the giant skeleton is still focused on Rallis.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Oh my god!
No, Becca.
Okay. It rolled a natural 20.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
alright.
Ouch.
How much does it hurt
It
me?
deals 32 bludgeoning damage. You are now unconscious.
Yeah, I'm unconscious.
Uh-oh.
Rook, it's your turn.
Okay, I guess like, there's really not much I can do. I'm getting ready to book it. But, what I'm gonna do is take one final shot with the sneak attack. Longbow.
That's
18.
a hit. And it deals 18 damage. It's still standing, but not by much.
Oh, god damn it.
Malik, I need you to make a death saving throw.
Oh boy.
You mean
Oh boy. That's 20.
You get up on 1 HP. You are no longer unconscious.
Yeah. Rallis just, after that, he surges back to life, like slams a fist on the ground and stands back up.
It's like the wind itself just went back into your lungs immediately.
Oh yeah, that's actually good. Yeah, like, so Henrietta, Rook, and Talus, I imagine, you all see like a sudden gust of wind blows around Rallis as air seems to almost force itself back into his lungs, and he just juts awake and stands back up.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, Relus is actually a barbarian doing his rage. His final rage.
Okay. Talus, it's your turn.
Magic Missile.
Okay, more magic missile.
More Magic Missile. That's 14 force damage.
14 force damage. It's definitely shaking from the impact. But it's still standing. Henrietta, it's your turn. Okay, time for more macing.
He's a sucker.
Yeah, it's a hit, and... Wow. Henrietta, how do you want to do this?
Plus Divine Smite.
Divine Smite, yeah, that's overkill. Yeah, you see her raise up her mace and it's glowing, and it smacks it straight down into its skull, just completely smashing it to pieces.
Well, I guess I'm not getting my arrows back.
Oh, you back, Dream?
Yeah, I'm still using my phone, but I can type now.
Okay,
Okay.
you're really quiet. But anyway, you got the last hit. Congratulations. only one person got knocked down. I was a little scared about this encounter, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah, the only survivor probably would have been Rook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of all things,
you know what?
it.
I'll entirely admit I probably tempted fate a bit too much staying that close.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I didn't get anywhere near the enemy.
I need to keep in mind, if the cleric goes down, everyone else is soon to follow. I need to keep that in mind.
We've got Paladin, so that'll cushion the blow a bit.
Yeah, but fate itself was kind to you this time.
Yeah, but also, like, keep in mind, like, it's in Rook's nature. It's actually part of his flaws that he would have actually run away.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And things are starting to look really bad.
But yeah, after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but after that, there's still, like, a slight gust of wind that seems to be circling around Rallis, and he's kind of on his knees just panting. Like, like, seemingly almost in shock at what happened. Like, he felt he was just about to die, and then all of a sudden, like, something punched the wind back into him.
Henrietta is healing you with lay on hand.
Alright, how many points of lay on hands do I get?
Let's see. Hit point equal to paladin level times 5. So you get 20 points of healing.
All of it? Alright, fair enough.
You feel drastically much better.
Yeah, and as Rallis is, as Rallis, sort of comes back to life thanks to Henrietta, the wind around him seems to die down a little, and it just seems to almost slowly flow away. Thank you, Henrietta. Thank you. I'll just bless you.
That was a crazy night.
Yeah. And it was like Rook is like still kind of looking at the fossils on the guys. Maybe we should get the hell out of here.
Yeah, the fossils are still kind of moving.
Yeah.
Slightly.
He stands back up and he shouts to Talis, "Talis, we're leaving. Get moving."
Way ahead of you.
And we all just make I imagine we all just make a mad dash for the exit.
Yeah,
like,
you all.
Yeah, Talis was starting to do that the moment in the last also went down when you guys were having your little sweet talking.
You all leave the terrarium hastily and go back to your dormitories. The perch guard are already on the scene.
Okay.
Once you shout that there's something going on in the terrarium, the perch guard are already on the scene.
I would like to ask if my familiar got a good look at the culprit.
Okay. Well, he definitely looked like a Corvum.
It was a Corvum. There's a lot of Corvum in the world.
Yeah, but this one in particular had a particularly large bill.
Large-billed Corvum.
Yeah.
You mean bill or build?
A bill, as in his beak.
Okay. A large bill.
Okay.
Yeah, you all take a well-deserved long rest. And we're going to stop there.
Alright. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Crazy.
Someone almost died, oh my god.
Great job, Becca.
It's not my fault.
Alright, well,
Blame the die.
We'll see you all
Alright.
next time. Bye.
Take care.